Alright, so here we have Bitcoin on Bybit on the 1 hour. Looks like we're having, alright, so that was brutal. Obviously. We had almost $1,000 candle. Came down, had a little relief rally, cracked back down right to our purple zone and this diagonal trend line. We did close above it. So we did find some support. We need to stay above this level right now. Your RSI, we are trying to get out of the bearish control zone. We did have a cross of the signal line. That's what kind of led us up for this little rally. MACD printing some dark green bars on the histogram and fresh cross to the upside. Your MACD and your RSI are both momentum oscillators. They judge bullish and bearish momentum. So as we had that candle down, we did enter into the oversold, which means that it was unstable. We could have stayed down here for a while, but it didn't have some sustainability. So we did enter out, made a double bottom on the RSI. BBWP is coming down into the lower zone, coming down to its moving average. Both are pointed down. So I do think the volatility continues. I do think we enter back into the upper zone. I really don't like that the BBWP is going down as the price action's moving up. Looks like we're going to try to get above the 21. Right now we're being held up by the 21. We do have some VPVR levels. We're going to have high resistance at the 200, the 50, and the 100. So definitely watch those levels. If we make a lower high here, that is not going to look good. Then we would be operating on lower highs, lower lows, and I would expect us to come back down to this level. Let's move on to the 4 hour. Here on your 4 hour, fresh cross to the downside of the zero line, but we're going to find support here. If we can cross this signal line to the upside, we would need to get above 24.4. Oh, yeah. All right, so that's far away. But to get above the zero line, we need to get above 23,642. We need to stay above 23,228 in order to keep rising above. We need to get back above that zero line right now in order to even try to continue this rally. BBWP looks like it's coming down across its moving average. Could have some chop right here. RSI, we did enter the bearish control zone, but we do have support here at this level on the RSI. If we can get out of this bearish control zone and cross this signal line and this neutral median line, I do think this rally would continue, possibly even making a higher high. Basically, we need to get back above these last highs in order to even remotely be bullish at our line in the sand at 23,500. We talked about once we cross this level, we were going to have some downside. So far, we are being held up by this purple zone, so we still have a chance. It's more bearish than bullish right now, though. Like, really think of that. If we do break this purple zone, we're going down to the depths. I would expect to bounce at the 200, possibly back up to these lows in this purple region. So let's move on to the 8 hour. On the 8 hour, we are bouncing off of the bearish control zone. We are below our signal line right now. As you see, we do have some support on the bearish control zone. So I would expect some sort of bounce here. Now your MACD, fresh cross to the downside, printing some dark red bars on the histogram. BBWP starting to work its way up off a lower read as you are above your moving average. Now, your medium momentum is bearish. We could enter this bearish control zone. If we enter that bearish control zone on the 8 hour, I would expect us to break this level. Now here on the daily, we are in the neutral zone. Below the signal line though, fresh cross to the signal line to the downside. Converging on our signal line on the MACD. So basically on the daily, we're undecided. We are printing low reads on the BBWP. The volatility has just begun. We are still ranging. We are above that diagonal trend line, so we're not screwed just yet. All right. Now, like I said, if we cross that purple zone, we are screwed. I would expect a quick move down to 19,000. So definitely watch that purple region. Like I said, on the daily, we're undecided. So if this rally continues and we can build up some bullish momentum on the 1 hour, you know, we would have a chance. We need to get back above these last highs. We need to get back above 23,500. I'm going to go ahead and move this down, because that's my line in the sand right there. Unless we can get back above that level, this means nothing. You know, this could just be a short relief rally bouncing off that purple zone. We have major support there. We did expect this move. We did expect this move with the bearish case. Once we crossed 23,500, we knew we were coming down. That was our line in the sand. So if you're watching these videos, you stayed ahead of the curve on this move. Alright, if you guys are liking this video so far, like and subscribe to the channel. Check out the links in the description below. One being the Discord, a lot of good conversation about trading, investing, and crypto there. So bearish case, obviously we break this purple zone. I would expect the RSI to enter the bearish control zone and cross your signal line. Your MACD to cross its signal line to the downside, start printing some dark red bars on that histogram as your BBWP moves into the upper zone. I do think the BBWP is going to move into the upper zone. I do think massive move is ahead. You know, even a bigger move than this. I think a bigger move is coming, for sure. Either we come down to this purple zone and break it, or we get back above these major moving averages and get back above 23,500. If we can get it back above 23,500, get above this neutral median line on the RSI, get your MACD. Let's see what that zero line would be. Yeah, that's 24,500. I mean, we're in bad shape right now. But but if we are in the bullish case, I would expect the upside curvature to get stronger, and get back above 23,500. If we can do that, we're still on track for 25K. All right, bearish case is that we enter that bearish control zone and cross that signal line to the downside, like I was just saying, and cross your signal line to the downside on the MACD. If that happens, 19K is in the cards. All right. Let's move on to Ethereum. On Ethereum, we did cross our diagonal trend line, had a retest. Looks like we're coming back up for another retest. Front ran the 50 and the POC point of control in the VPVR. VPVR being this right here, which measures horizontal volume at a certain price level. We stayed in the bearish control zone there for a while, had bullish divergence, which is what led us up to here so far. Right now, we are having trouble getting back above that neutral median line. MACD fresh cross to the upside, positive momentum on the histogram. BBWP did cross its moving average to the upside. I would expect this to continue. So if we go to the downside, I would expect support at the 200 and this VPVR level right here at 1680 region. Would expect major support there, but that would be a lower high. If we can get back above this diagonal trend line, I would expect this to be one big fake out. I would expect this to get back to the highs at 1800. That would also imply that we get above this neutral median line and above this last breakdown point on the RSI. So right now, if we do confirm this as a high, we're going to have bearish divergence on the 1 hour. Bearish case is that you break the 200. And this VPVR level right here at 1680. If that happens, I would expect a quick move down to 1575 region. That would also imply that we get back into the bearish control zone and cross that signal line to the downside. MACD crosses its signal line to the downside, which we would have to cross 1638 in order to cross that signal line to the downside. 1638. I mean, that's going to cascade us down. I mean, if we get there, we're going to have an even quicker move down to 1575. Right now, I mean, man, we are on the line of breaking down right now. This could get really ugly. Definitely stay nimble right now. Our POC point of control is coming right at the 50. Major level of resistance right there. I mean, we also have the 100 and this diagonal trend line. That's going to be a major level of resistance. If we do get rejected from there and make a lower, we would make a higher high at that point on a closure. If we can get a closure around there, which would invalidate the bearish divergence, we would still have a chance. But if we fall below that level at the 200, I mean 1575's in the cards. All right, let's move on to Solana. Solana bouncing right off our red zone. We did come up, front ran our diagonal trend line and the top of our red zone. We have stayed on the pulse of Solana for months. Right now we're having trouble getting out of the bearish control zone. We are above this signal line though. If we can get out of the bearish control zone, I would expect this relief rally to continue. MACD, fresh cross to the upside. Positive momentum on the histogram. BBWP just crossed its moving average to the downside. So the BBWP started falling as the price action's moving up. Not really a good sign. We could consolidate here a little bit. Maybe it's either going to be accumulation or redistribution. If it is redistribution, we're going to break this red zone at 39.30. If we break that, I think we come down to the lows at $38. If we break $38, 34.75 is in the cards and much lower. That would also imply that we stay in this bearish control zone and start cascading this negative momentum into the higher term time frames. We cross that signal line, we are screwed. And your signal line to the downside of the MACD. So watch your BBWP. When it crosses back above that moving average, that's when the move is coming. Then pay attention to where your momentum's at and go on from there. If we, like I said, if we break this red zone, we're pretty much screwed. Operating on lower highs, lower lows right now. We need to get back above this 50 at 40.75. If we can get back above this 50, I think we'd have a chance to come up to 42.25 region. If we can break that, next stop, $44. But that is a very low probability right now. The bearish probability is much more right now. But definitely just pay attention to these levels. Like I said, if we can get back above this last high in the 50 at 40.75, it's going to look pretty good. I would expect major resistance at each one of these moving averages right here. So, you know, if we can't get it back above this last high, we're pretty much boot caked. So yeah, if you guys like this video, like and subscribe to the channel. Check out the links in the description below. Everyone have a great morning, great afternoon, great evening, and I will see you tomorrow.